Fun fact, I was a first-degree black belt.
Fumbles the ball. Marlon Humphrey. One-hand catch for the touchdown. Touchdown, Ravens.
Our next guest, yeah, he can ball, and his team's all right, too. Calais Campbell here with us, and obviously you're a big reason why the Ravens have been so successful. Calais, great to see you. Great to have you with us again. I want to mention you're joining us on behalf of Old Spice, and I love this. It's an initiative to help high school graduation rates, partnering with producers of the film Black Boys, and learn more by visiting Old Spice's social channels. So not only are you always delivering on the field, but always helping in the community. So we salute you for that. Calais, let's get right into it. I love making Stephen A. mad. You know he's a diehard Steelers fan. You know the Steelers are 5-0, so technically you're behind them. But when it's all said and done, tell me why your Ravens are going to win the AFC North.
Oh, man. It's going to be a battle. The Steelers are a worthy opponent. Can't wait to get out there and play them. We'll come out of the bye. It's nice to have a bye going into them. Thank you for the change of schedule, NFL. But honestly, when it comes down to it, I feel like this team has all the pieces in place. We're scratching the surface how good we can be. We're just getting better and better. And I feel like this is our year. We got to go ahead and make it happen, but I believe.
Good to see you, bro. Obviously, when we talk about the Ravens, we know that y'all are some rough riders. Y'all can ball and what have you. And we know the reigning league MVP is a superstar talent. We know what Lamar Jackson can do running that football. Throwing that football, particularly, a postseason play, is another matter. And obviously, when you went against Kansas City, there were people that looked at that game and, they judged him pretty harshly. Talk to us about what you think about Lamar Jackson and how far you think he can take you guys this year.
Oh, yeah, he's a special talent, and he throws the ball very well. I see it in practice, all through camp. And, I feel like we're real close to making some big plays. We're just, trying to get in sync. And we're winning ball games still, though. So even when you don't get it done, make it look super perfect and make it look beautiful, you still win ball games.
Blaze, you were one of the reasons, but there were a bunch of them that several years ago I really liked what the Jags were doing on defense, but it didn't show up right away that first year that they amassed that talent. The next year it did, but then they couldn't sustain it. So you've been through that process, and now you're on a team that has sustained so far, last year and this year, a new level, it seems, of excellence. Can you pinpoint what that is? How does it come together on certain teams? What's the kind of magic ingredient, if there is one?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing is that family bond, that brotherhood, and that just belief, when you sell out for one another. And I feel like this year, man, we've been really, we've been, taking our time getting there. I feel like we're just so close. We made a lot of mistakes, but we're still winning ball games. But where we're going, man, I feel like we're going to be so much better going forward, coming out of this bye. And teams in our way, I feel bad for them, but we're coming for them.
I like that. Calais, we started off the show. I was talking to Stephen A. and Max and asking about Antonio Brown potentially going to the Seahawks. Apparently, they have interest. We've heard the Ravens as well. Do you feel like getting AB would just really push you guys over the edge because he's such a special talent?
And that'd be a great addition. Guys like him don't just lay around too often. So when you have a chance at him, that'd be great. And, obviously, he gets open and his pedigree speaks for itself. And I feel like our culture, we can really help him to thrive. And, he already has a good relationship with Lamar and his cousins on our team. And so I think he'll fit right in. So hopefully, hey, we'll see what happens.
Have you guys mentioned anything to management about that? Well, whether it be your coach or management, about how badly you want him, or you just anticipate that this is something that's being considered and you leave it at that?
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I know, on the opposite side of the ball, those guys have said things in the past. And I'm sure they're probably still talking about it, and our front office is always looking to improve the team at all times. And, it seems like the last couple of years, the Ravens have made trades, try to better the team. And so we'll see what happens. They sign guys. So we'll see what happens. I'm just, happy to be a part of this organization. I feel like we're right where we need to be, and we have a chance to be special this year.
Calais, you mentioned Hollywood Brown or referred to him, and I asked about missing ingredient. When you talk about AB, like I look at Lamar Jackson, I don't think accuracy is the issue. To me, the issue is 5 biggest profile games, 3 against the Chiefs, 2 in the playoffs. He played his worst football. My issue is when the spotlight is brightest is maybe he needs another offensive weapon. What do you think that Antonio Brown could be the missing ingredient on that team? And if not, why hasn't Lamar stepped up in those moments so far?
Well, I think first and foremost, I mean, the man's 23 years old. He's just scratching the surface of how good he can be. You know, he's going to get a lot better. And, you know, he's very poised. And in those big moments, I mean, he's getting experience that's going to allow him to flourish as his career develops. And so, you know, I have no doubt in my mind that, you know, the more often he gets into the playoffs, he's going to win a lot of ball games and hopefully win a few championships. And I'd like it to be this year because I would like to get one on my finger too. So, you know, I'm pushing him and, you know, helping him try to be the best he can be and vice versa. But, you know, obviously, you know, anytime you add more talent to the team that can get open and make a difference, you know, it always, you know, adds value. So I'm sure he would love to have AB on the roster and, you know, try to use him as best he can. But at the end of the day, we have what it takes right now, in my opinion, you know, and if we can add to it, great. But if not, let's go make it happen anyway.
Calais, I know how talented this team is. You guys are so exciting to watch, but it feels like in the playoffs you haven't gotten the job done yet. Obviously, Lamar Jackson is still very young, and as I mentioned, so explosive in so many ways. How important is it, just for the confidence of him and the team overall, to really get some wins in the playoffs this season?
Well, I think it's important, you know, and, you know, for me, I'm in year 13. I don't know how many more I got in me. You know, I got to take it 1 year at a time. So I know I got this year. And so I think this year, you know, there's no time better than the present. And he can get it done. And so why not do it now? You know, so hopefully we have to get there. We have a lot of work to do. You know, that's kind of so far away. We have a huge schedule. These next 5 games are going to be, you know, really, really hard. And so coming out of the bye, we have to keep our head down and just keep working to get better. But I have confidence in my guys, especially Lamar. And just hopefully, you know, when it comes, we'll be there and we'll show everybody.
Calais, we're not on the football field, so we might overemphasize things on occasion, or we might not give it enough attention. But being on that football field without that many fans in attendance because of the coronavirus pandemic and how that basically has ravaged all of us globally, could you talk to me about what it's like for you this season, being in the NFL for 13 years, having to go out in fields and see empty stadiums or 3/4 of it empty or whatever the case may be? What has that been like for you guys, and how much of an effect, if at all, do you believe it's had on the performances of guys in the NFL this season?
Yeah, I feel like as a defensive player, you know, you really feed off the crowd, you know, especially when you're at home, you know, being able to get that crowd behind you. And so I feel like it really has, you know, kind of lowered the energy level. And when you're really kind of, you know, in the meat of in the heart of the game, and in the game's on the line, you kind of need that crowd to kind of get you going sometimes. But you know, hey, it's football. You got to adapt and make do. But I will say, this past week playing against the Eagles, they had about 5,000 fans there, and I felt the difference. It was great having those 5,000 there compared to 0 or like 200 we had the games before.
All right, Calais, you talked a lot about this bye. I think your body really needed it, and I'm expecting big things from the Ravens
34.
when you get
24.
out of it, right? Listen, we're around the same age. I feel you.
Pro Bowl last year,
and once again, not just lip service. I salute you, everything that you do in the community. Appreciate you. We'll be rooting for you. Talk to you soon.
I appreciate you.
All right, take care. Up next, Stephen A. versus the deal. Thursday Night Football is tonight. It's Eagles-Giants. Both have disappointed, especially the Eagles with their expectations 1-4-1. Max, I mentioned this earlier. Louis Riddick is back here with us. Carson Wentz is one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Do you think at this point, I mean, I know initially it was Wentzylvania and he took the league by storm, but at this point, do you think the Eagles regret paying him this massive deal? As
I said, I don't have to think anything. Let me try to recreate this from the last block. Okay, I got my motivation.
If it's authentic, it ain't hard.
That's right.
Do it.
It is a fact that they do regret it, which is why they drafted a quarterback in the second round in this last draft. They could have moved up and grabbed CeeDee Lamb, the best receiver in the draft. They chose to hold on to the second round pick to draft a quarterback. Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles. And for those who would say, well, they need depth and Carson Wentz is injury prone, if they were really that worried about it, would they be splitting Carson Wentz out wide and using him as a blocker? They would not. It is not. Look, the fact of the matter is, when you get paid $120 million, whatever, you are paid to elevate your team. I don't want to hear about injuries. Be better. He makes one Patrick Mahomes level play a game. He makes 3 or 4 other pretty good ones, and the rest are not good. Bad decision making, bad execution. Even when you talk about the drops, he threw late and to the wrong shoulder. Sanders almost makes a play on the ball, and you call that a drop. No, Wentz has not been a franchise quarterback. I would never, and I never do, question his toughness. He is tough as nails, that guy. There are a million examples of it. I think that can rally a team. He has a